What if I told you that the secret to true joy, deeper, more long lasting relationships, and even spiritual alignment isn't something that you have to chase? It's actually already here. You just have to notice it. Hey, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of your Mindful Monday. I'm your host, your girl, Arika Trimnell, also known as the Mindful Mistress. That's right, here to offer you unique insights that help us grow spiritually, professionally, all the things, allowing us to embrace every aspect of our journey while breaking free of the prism of limitations. Today, I want us to dive into the art of being present. Beyond just the buzzword, presence really is a sacred practice, something from ancient wisdom that now is, of course, validated by modern science. It always takes science just a little bit longer to catch up, right? Or a few millennials to catch up. But, anyways, it's a practice that really bridges the physical and spiritual, where the outer and inner worlds get to merge together as one. And also coming from a place of helping us deepen our own spiritual practice, healing our mind, our body, of course, our soul, and connecting to something a little bit bigger than us, or the part of us, I'll say, that is truly expansive. So today, getting into the art of being present. Being present isn't just something maybe you heard or read in a book, and it's really not a new concept at all. The art of being present comes from ancient times. Probably as old as humanity itself, going back to teachings of the Buddha and mindfulness and sati, where is seen as a true path of enlightenment. And being present allows us to observe our own thoughts and emotions without the attachment, which really help us to pave a way to peace, understanding, and joy. Even pulling from the Bible invites us to live in the moment. And it comes from, I believe, Matthew's 6:34, where it's, therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Even the Bible, of course, our indigenous cultures also have similar thoughts when it comes to being mindful and present, really emphasizing that it's a harmony with nature. So just like we are in our season of, fall, winter, that causes us to feel like it's time to transition into hibernation, right? Self-reflection, introspection, all of those things. Modern science also echoes this with mindfulness practices as a way to reduce the stress, reduce the burden, enhance mental clarity, and rewire our brains for greater emotional resilience, therefore increasing our emotional EQ. Presence isn't something that is just spiritual, but it's actually neurological. It's actually 3D too. So again, I love merging or just showing the intersection or the intersectionality of certain practices and how they come from the ancient wisdom and how it gets validated through science, through psychology, hard science, and soft science as well. So, in talks of being present, despite what we all know, the benefits of being present and staying present sometimes could really feel like an insurmountable task. Have you ever had those moments? And I will say, I'm raising my hand because it's me. Have those moments where your brain just kind of goes on this spiral, and maybe you're thinking about a past argument. Maybe for Thanksgiving, you were thinking about an argument you had at Thanksgiving, or how you should have said something, or how you wish this would have happened. And maybe now you're even thinking about the next time you're going to see that person, maybe it's at a holiday dinner, maybe it's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, a party, and you're now future tensing and getting anxiety about that. Well, this is our one of the things that's called is our monkey brain, our reptilian brain. And so this is the part of our brain that actually is wired for survival. If you know anything about neuroscience, I do some psychoeducation on quite a few of my videos, but we call this the amygdala. And the amygdala is what helps us stay alive, especially in life or death situations. So you've heard me talk about this, and this is where we would see our monkey brain. It often starts thinking about past regrets or thinks about future anxiety. Another reason why being present can be so hard, or like, again, seeming like an insurmountable task, is the fact that we are all like technology driven folks, right? This is probably going to ding at some point. My last recording, it dinged, but our technology overload, we get notifications. We're on screen after screen after screen that are designed to pull us away from this present moment, this now. Funny, but not so funny story. Over the holiday break, I spent time with my sister and my nieces, and we were playing a game about how well do you know your family. And one of the cards that I had to pull and ask, and everyone had to guess, was what is my average screen time, y'all? First of all, for me to answer that question, I needed to know, right? So I needed to pull, I needed to go on my iPhone and figure out the screen time. And when I pulled it up, I was like, no, something's wrong. Like, they can't count. They can't, the math is not mathing. This ain't girl math. This ain't boy math. I don't know what kind of math this is because this is not me. I had like 15 hours of screen time. And I was like, I am a very mindful person. What do you mean? I don't keep notifications on. When I'm on the computer, I'm like on the computer. When I'm doing work or when I'm on my phone, I'm like, there are things that I'm getting done. And so to see that my screen time was so high, I was like, whoa. But that just goes to show you how we are so dependent, myself included, on technology. Now, of course, being the type of person that I am, strong-willed, I needed to find out why my screen time was so high. And I realized, one, because all my devices are Apple devices, it's calculating the screen time when I'm here right now, like when I record my videos. If I'm doing some batch recording today and I'm at the computer all day long, this is my screen time. So again, we are so integrated with technology. See, I didn't even realize how many hours I was spending in front of my screen. And not only that, there is that physical and physiological changes that happen when we spend so much time with technology. Actually, our body starts to produce a chemical when we have these notifications. You get that dopamine hit, you get the flood of serotonin, right? And so then our bodies get used to that level. And when we try to be present or we try to back away or cut some of these things off, our body really kind of goes into a state of like, like it is, what is going on here? So you might have heard of some people like go through dopamine fast. That's because they realize they realize their body's dependency on certain things, right, that are giving them that dopamine hit. And so it's wise to go on a fast so you can reset your levels. But again, these things are designed to distract us and to pull us away from that which we are trying to go towards. So again, in our quest, right, to break free of this mental prism, we have to be aware that the prism even exists. I have to know that I'm spending 15 hours on, technology, whether it's my iPad, iPhone, iMac, like whatever, all of the things. So just something to think about. Another reason why it could feel like such a hard task to be present, truly present, is that there is such a thing of fear of stillness. Now, sometimes some of us have a difficult time being present because when we are present, it means that we are confronting things that we have been actively trying to avoid, whether consciously or subconsciously. We've been trying to avoid those things. And when you sit still, it forces you to face the truth. Every time we create that space for us, we're able to ground in the present moment. We actually are able to reclaim our power and our thoughts. So even when you have those intruding thoughts about maybe something you were trying to avoid, you can control that, whether it's writing it down to have intentional time to work through whatever that is, or visualizing, doing a meditation. So you have intentional stillness time on whatever it is that you were meditating. There are ways to work around that. But I get that the thought of being still, to be with oneself, to be alone, is something that a lot of us are very uncomfortable with. And it's okay because, again, a lot of times we weren't modeled this. It wasn't mirrored to us when we were younger. So it is going to seem a little bit maybe foreign or difficult to do. The other thing is when we are tapping into the power of presence, it really is a connection with the divine or God, if you will, whatever you want to call it. You can call it source or universe. Presence is truly where that sacred place and space lives. It is that we have where we can communicate with the divine, where we can hear the divine whisper, and then allow and align ourselves with what's highest in our best interest. The other thing, when we practice the stillness, in being present helps us really, again, because we're tapping in that source, you are able to recharge yourself. You are able to get rid of the scattered focus and intentionally center yourself, creating this beautiful balance, this beautiful harmony inside, aligning your chakra, aligning your energy field, and creating and manifesting from that. So when you're present, your intentions carry more power. You are allowed to be, or you have allowed yourself to be in flow, which just amplifies your ability to co-create and attract that which you want. In bringing forth, I think of a quote for Eckhart Tolle where he calls the present moment really a gateway to the spiritual dimension. Think of it that opening. So every time you're able to sit in presence and sit with yourself, you are calling in the divine. You are blocking out distractors and calling in the divine. You're calling in that connection. So maybe in helping you reframe to that perspective, it maybe can help, whether it's a fear or whether it's, you've got the dopamine that's going on, whatever your reservations might be with being present, with being still, and some ways to help you through that. Again, not just talking about it from the fact of using our prefrontal cortex, right, our critical thinking skills and reasoning it, but doing it somatically through anchoring with a breath, right? Taking those deep inhales and exhales fully, maybe repeating to yourself, maybe an affirmation or a mantra like, my breath is my life. My breath is my life force. My breath is my life force. And always using that as a way to help ground yourself. You can create some maybe spiritual rituals, maybe small moments of mindfulness that you sprinkle throughout the day. Maybe you use a crystal or a candle to say a prayer or hold gratitude in your heart. Maybe it's tea that you use. You can bring in any element to create a ritual effect to help you have that separation, that space, that transition, so that you can go from whatever it is you were doing into peace and stillness and be present in that moment. Those are the things you can use. And when I say peace and presence and stillness, you can be still in a conversation because you could be fully immersed in that conversation. Like, I am locked in, I'm locked into connecting with you. Nothing else is going in my brain, no other thoughts, but how I am interacting with you and what this interaction is like and what my intention is for this time connecting with you. So part of that could be that mindful observation. So you could be in a conversation with someone and realize, oh, I'm having some anxiety. It's an aunt, it's my aunt who always talks about things that make me uncomfortable. And in that mindfulness observation. Maybe you are grounding. Maybe you are using your senses. Okay, well, what do I see about her that I love? What can I smell? Do I smell, oh gosh, she's got a new perfume that smells amazing, or maybe it doesn't smell amazing. Again, you're using this to help you stay grounded into the present moment instead of maybe, oh my gosh, I hope she doesn't bring up that incident, from way back when, or, a past trigger. You can use your senses, you can use things in the moment and your surroundings that help you ground and connect to the present moment. Another thing that I love doing, y'all know I love me some affirmations. So saying affirmations like, I am here now and I am enough. Repeating something like that can really help you, again, not just reprogram your brain, but again, grounding yourself in that somatic energy of peace and presence. So bridging the wisdom of the ancients with a modern science approach, combining these teachings together, is really what creates this holistic tool for healing and growth, because we're no longer thinking of being present as just something that's going to help me reduce stress, something that's going to help me build my emotional intelligence, something that maybe help me with the influx of dopamine, which is that the science aspect. But no, this is something that is going to help me connect with the divine. This is something that's going to help me have deeper connections with individuals. This is something that's going to help me with my gratitude practices. This is something that's going to help me, again, not just the physical, not just the spiritual, but combining them together to create a holistic tool for you to be able to leverage to have those deeper relationships, to have a more fulfilled life, to be on purpose, in purpose, right? And so with that, I invite you or challenge you this week to dedicate a moment. It doesn't have to be long. It could be a few minutes. It could be an hour, whatever you feel called to in the moment, to dedicate a moment each day to truly being present with who you are, being present in your surroundings. Whether it is maybe you're mindful eating, maybe it's during a walk, maybe you are taking some time to just be silent with yourself. Allow yourself to fully embrace it. Allow yourself to fully experience it. And feel free to share with me, of course, your journal, voice notes, those are all useful tools to really help you build that connection and build that muscle. So it's something that you look forward to doing and you're able to see the difference in your life when you add more moments of presence to it. Thank you so much for sharing some time with me today, for being present with me. If this message resonated with you, or you feel like it can definitely resonate with someone who you know, love, share this, like, subscribe, because presence is a gift that we can give not only to ourselves, but to each other. Until next time, stay mindful, stay present, and stay connected to one another. Thank you so much. Bye.